Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to Kairu Live. My name is George X Kairu, and here is where we strive to educate the youth to build, work, and achieve their dreams. Now, today I have a special plan for you. All of you who want to study or do IT, this is what we're going to talk about today. More so in the space of networking and security. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me introduce Nick Mugambi. Brother, how are you?
I'm very good.
Salama?
Salama sana.
Thank you very much for coming. Nimeshukuru sana.
Thank you.
So tell us a bit of what you do, just for introduction, then we can continue from the story.
Yeah, so my name is, like you said, Nick Mugambi. Career-wise, I'm in the space of information security. What I do, I'm an IT manager in Mode, where I'm in charge of information security and IT environment, where we support the business on IT-related issues.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, there are a lot of definitions there and I want to ask you later. But let me just start your story from where it began, because some careers start back in high school. So allow me, just tell us about your history kidogo, pale high school. Did you want to be a pilot, like a lot of people? Tell us about your high school life.
Yeah, interesting. I'll start before high school. When I was growing up, I've always had an interest in fixing things and breaking things apart. Yeah. So as I was growing up, I was a very handy kind of a child. Yeah, and very curious, and always wanted to experiment with stuff and breaking things apart, and that got me in a lot of trouble. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so all along, I knew I would want to do things around engineering. Yeah, but I didn't clearly have a picture of exactly what. Yeah. So as we progressed on in learning from primary to high school, so in high school, when it goes to a point where we have to choose subjects so that now we can align ourselves towards our career, I dropped off things like biology, which they weren't helping me at that time, and focused more on physics and mathematics and all those things. So now in our school, physics was optional. So some people could drop it, but I stuck to that path. So I think in Form 4,
Did you do computer? Was there computer studies during that time?
No, we didn't have computers.
No, okay.
Yeah, computers, I came to do computers
I'm just asking,
way after high school. But yeah, so when it came to selection of university, courses that you're going to do after high school, I remember there were like 3 choices, if I'm not wrong. And I really had trouble choosing the rest, because in my mind I knew I wanted to do engineering. But
that's what you wanted to do?
That's what I wanted to do. Yeah.
What space in engineering?
I think I selected electronic engineering.
Yeah, okay.
Or mechanical, I don't really remember. But I knew it was engineering, things to do with fixing stuff.
Yeah.
What I don't really know. Yeah, so I really don't remember what the second and the third options were. Those were just placeholders to fill the form and return it. But in my mind, I knew I wanted to do engineering. So after that, yeah, we did our KCSE, and
Can I ask which year this was?
That was in the year 2000.
2000?
Yes, in the year 2000.
I wasn't even born.
Continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the year 2000, I did my KCSE. Now, the challenge came where after the results came out, I did not qualify to get university placement to do engineering. But I could find myself doing other things that my marks would allow. But in my heart, I didn't want to do any other thing
than engineering. So I thought to myself, I'm not going to the university, because I'd rather do it somewhere else. And so now at this point, I started thinking exactly what is it that I want to do. And I was very much interested with the media house kind of things, transmission, that kind of technology around how do we get people to watch TV. So through talking to a few people, I came to learn it's called telecommunications engineering. Telecommunications engineering.
Yeah, so that's the word I came to learn after afterwards. So I started thinking, so if I need to do telecommunications engineering, what do I need? So I remember after high school, I went to KBC. Just took a random walk and talked to some of those guys and asked, if I want to be this fundi wa mitambo, what kind of courses do people do?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they now the guy who I talked to pointed me towards now that telecommunication and then asked, where can somebody do this? And that time the guy told me that there is this college called Kenya College of Mass Communication, KIMC.
KMC.
Yeah.
Without B.
Yes. They offer that. Yeah, so I went there, I took a brochure and saw what it is about. Remember, all this time, this is all my initiative. So I asked, other than KMC, where else can this be done? So I was given other options. We have Kenya Poly, Kenya Polytechnic, which is now called what?
Technical University of Kenya.
Yes. Yeah, but that time it was Kenya Poly. And also KCCT then, which is now Multimedia. So now this is around Feb, thereabout. Because now the results are out, trying to figure out. So my dad is asking me,
What's the way forward?
So what do you want to do now that things are out? So I told him I want to do telecoms engineering. So he asked me, what is that? So according to him, telecoms engineering is things to do with telephones. So he asked me, you want to be these telephone guys who walk around the estate with the ladders? Because that's what people know telecoms is, telephone and that.
Yeah.
So even him, he wasn't very, he didn't have an idea on exactly what it is I wanted to do. So yeah, I scouted around. So I went to the 3
universities,
colleges,
colleges,
and they gave me their brochures and their fee structures. So I went to my dad. I told him, yeah, this is what I think I have. I think I can take. And since this KCCT is the next intake is in August, I would want to join in August. Okay, fine. You look for funds, I'm ready. And because he saw the interest I had, he supported me on that. I said, then if that's what you want, go for it. So now that's how now I landed now to start. I started off with telecoms engineering at a diploma level. Okay.
Okay.
I couldn't do that
on the degree level
because of my grades. Yeah, so that's how I started off, and I progressed through that, and I finished. Yeah.
How many years was the course?
It was 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
But 3 academic years, which turned out to be slightly 4 calendar years because we had a duration of internship. And one thing I appreciated going through the diploma route is that I got to be more hands-on, because you find in diploma training, people get more hands-on experience than being theoretical. And my area of attachment during that time, I was attached at Telecom Kenya.
Telecom Kenya.
Yes. The interesting bit is that during the attachment, the area of exposure was on the telephony environment.
Yeah.
Not a lot of transmission and all the things I wanted to do. However, that also opened up my experience in terms of seeing how things are done from the phone at home. During those guys who know the fixed landline, yeah, you have a phone at home all the way up to the termination point. So I went through the training on how that is done, how it's installed, how it's maintained, and how it functions.
In the attachment.
Yes. Yeah. Walking around the estate with the ladder. Yeah. We were attached with guys, so I was operating around the Parklands area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are the things now my dad was asking me, this is what you wanted to do. I found myself doing that from a point of experience. So these boxes that you find along the road, I could now tell what's the configuration inside. Yeah. one interesting bit I saw was that you find that big telecom cable that has many cables inside, and how to join all of them, all those colors, all those color codes. It looks like magic, but there's a certain sequence which I got to learn. Yeah. So from there, I finished my training.
Allow me to take you back.
Okay.
In current times now, it's actually really hard from personal experiences with people who have known to actually get internships or attachments when you're in college. So I want to ask, during that time where you're seeking for a job, how did you get a job? And was it difficult at that time to actually get jobs?
Yeah, it was not automatic. Yeah, coming from KCCT was owned by Telcom during that time. So it was easier for me to get a placement in Telcom coming from KCCT.
From KCCT, okay.
But also I want to mention that the advantage I got an internship there. One of my classmates, the dad used to work in Telcom. And so the dad facilitated for some of us to get internship. So we were attached in different telecom offices, but within Telcom, because he was a manager then. So that worked to our favor, some of us. Yeah. But having said that, I think it's favor, man. It's favor, because again, it's not something I can say that it was out of my effort or I knew somebody. Not really.
Yeah.
It just happened to be with someone who knows someone.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So now let me ask you, the greatest lesson that you ever learned during your 4 years in college when you're doing your diploma, what will it be?
Mostly it's just growing your ability to solve problems. Yeah, because at times you wonder, you carry these big engineering books and all this stuff, all that mathematics you've done, jiuliza itanisaidiaje na life. Yeah, but this opens up your mind to be able to solve problems. You're presented with complex situations and you have to figure out a solution. And that's the reality in today's world. Yeah, something comes up, you've not experienced it before, but you have to figure it out. Yeah. But again, also the experience that I will always treasure going through the diploma route is the exposure and experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things that people who have first of all gone through the university do not have. And it's hard, and even now in the marketplace, you can really tell.
Yeah.
Some people don't have the fundamental principles of how things work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in IT, right now you find you know how computers work, you have internet, but not very many people can tell you how that internet gets to your computer from wherever it comes from. Yeah, all that transmission line and everything. You have a phone in the office, or if you have a physical landline at home, not many people know how that happens behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Which going through that tertiary training really helps. Yeah.
Okay. Now the next question is, word on the street is, if you have actually done diploma and done a degree, your chances of getting a job than the other person who has just a degree is higher. Now you've just said that you appreciate the work that you got because you were handsy with a diploma. Now, since you've been in the industry, what will you advise people who are like you, maybe in high school or in uni, who are doing their diploma or their degree? Do I do a diploma in terms of IT, or do I do a degree if I have the grades?
Okay, this is what I would approach it as. Today in the market, if you're going to seek employment, because in the market you can be either going to do it your own and start your own business, or you're going to work for someone. Yeah. When you're starting off, it's always the first opportunity is to work for someone. Yeah? Before you start getting to work for yourself.
Yes.
And when you're working for someone, this someone is looking for skill, not papers. And I can tell you, even after going through all that training, my first jobs that I did, and that job for like the first two jobs I did, nobody ever asked me of my papers, whether I did, whether I passed, or nothing. Yeah. So the question to me was the training irrelevant? No, it wasn't. But the people I got to work for never cared whether I went to school or degree or diploma. They wanted to see, can you do the job? And that's what's the most important. Can you
So
do
how
the
did
job?
they know that you can do the job?
Now, from experience. So you remember, I had an attachment. So on my CV, you can see this guy has been at Telecom. He has some experience.
Yeah.
And then after school, I got an attachment
Yeah.
where I worked for a while. And then my next job that I got from there was an add-on to what I was doing from an attachment. So how I got my that job is where I was in attachment. They were looking for somebody who could support their office systems. That company I was working for was a subcontractor in this other company. So they wanted to hire an in-house guy and subcontract it.
Yeah.
So they went to that company to get those guys. So they know exactly, I'm picking somebody who's already doing this. Yeah.
Okay.
So come in and do this. So yeah, I went in and did it. And as you continue doing, you continue learning and continue growing. And yeah, so that's what people look for. So coming back to your question, whether degree or diploma, do whatever you're gifted at. If you're academically gifted, where you find you can go straight to do the degree, good. Yeah, because you know career paths are different.
Yeah.
Probably you don't want to be the hands-on person, you want to be like a trainer. Yeah. So when you want to be a trainer, you need to grow in your academics as much.
Yeah.
If you want to be a hands-on person, you need to develop on the hands-on skills. And where do you get that? Is either in the tertiary training or again working for someone who will give you the exposure on the hands-on.
Oh, wow. Wow. So now, finish with college, and I'm assuming at that time you are off from Telcom after you finish college. So now, what happens right after college for you?
So there are the different dynamics here. So when I finished college, I remember we did our end of year. That's Kenya National Examination Council exam. It was I think in November, and so the results take, I think, in December. By December, no, they should be out by Feb. So we are out there. It's around Christmas time. So I started sending out my CVs, looking for now attachments as we're waiting for results, and then start job hunting and quote unquote tamaking.
Yeah.
So I started sending out my CVs around
Different companies.
different companies in December, just to kill time, because that's how we car home. We just don't want to sit idle. And during that time, I was trying many things. I went to town just looking for things so that I don't just sit at home.
Look down to look for things to
do.
Okay.
Just killing
For
time.
example?
I went to parliament to listen to debates. Some of those things I just want to chill out. Yeah.
Okay.
I've also tried those merchandise things. You're given things to go and sell in the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are some of the things I did before. So I sent out my CVs. And then that time, it was postmail.
So about how many companies did you send to? Can you even remember? Just give me a rough number.
Maybe like 10.
Like 10,
Yeah.
okay.
I used to look at the newspaper and see what it is.
And you sent.
Yeah. So, and then another good thing is when you're in school, always network.
Thank you very much. Please say it again.
Always network. Network with colleagues, or rather with students who are ahead of you and those who are behind you. Because that worked to my advantage, because I had friends who had already finished and had started working. So those are the people I contacted, and they say, where are you working? Is there room for attachment and stuff? And
Yeah.
those are some of the places that I could send my CVs. So the fortunate thing is that come January, I remember it was the 3rd day of January, one of the companies calls me for an internship. Yeah, so I went.
Paid or unpaid?
It was paid. That time I was being given some 3K
Per month.
per month. That was just enough for fare and maybe lunch, because that time I was living with my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they called me, and one of the former colleagues, students that we were with in KCCT worked there. Actually, there were like 3 of them. And so I think the owner of the business saw that when I'm getting guys from KCCT and they're good, let me get even this other guy. It was a Muindi company. So they gave me the opportunity. I worked there. So there we were installing PBXs. A PBX is the office telephone system, and printers and the faxes and repairing all those things. So that was the kind of work I was doing. Now on that, also it exposed me to what is called structured cabling.
Structured cabling.
Yes, structured cabling is where you have. I remember one of the big projects that I did, an apartment that was being put up in Westlands, and in that apartment, of course, every house has those telephone lines. So you have to do the cabling.
The whole apartment.
In these socket holes of the building. You pull the cables up to the central control center. Yeah. So when you come and plug in your phone, remember there's somebody who did the work of doing all this wiring, or even this electricity. There's someone who did when the house was being constructed. Yeah. So those are the hands-on experiences that
you got,
that I got, that benefited me to where I am right now.
Wow.
Yeah. So we could do those things. So
and at the same time, there's somebody at the office who is not handsy in the same field. So just choose where you want to be. If you want to be the handsy person or the office person.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
And again, it depends on your gifts. Because we have people who are not handsy, but they're very good in strategy planning,
intellectual,
and coordinating stuff and managing things. So it all boils down to where is your gift. Don't try to copy somebody's gift, and probably that's not where you are.
Wow, thank you for that.
Yeah. So we did that project, and I remember one thing that I used to come home na kanikaa mtu wa mjengo, because I've been working at a site. Yeah, uko na watu wa mjengo kule.
But you're also there.
I'm also there, but
doing IT.
Something different. But you're all of you, but you're mjengo.
The same place,
Yeah, and that did not deter me, because, again, we are in a generation of people who want to please in terms of appearance. You want to look like you're happening right now. Yeah? You don't.
Please repeat that.
You don't want to look like you are hustling.
Yeah.
Yeah? So you want to look clean, polished, and all that.
Yeah, but you're starting.
So even the kind of work you're looking for is work that will make you look, your nails, they don't break your nails.
Yeah.
Yeah? But anyway, if you get it, fine. If you don't, there's always also the other part of getting your hands dirty and doing the heavy lifting.